Hello everyone. So today in this video, we are going to discuss some basics of the subject computer system organization and architecture. Usually we use these two terms as they have the same meaning, but there is the difference, very little difference between the computer system organization and architecture. So first, here is the uh, view of your computer system, layered view of your computer system. So first, we have application program which belongs to the high level. Then we have application design. Then comes the system design. After that, we have computer design. Then we have logic design, circuit design, and computer component. So this is the hierarchy in which the computer system works. So here you can notice that the part of the system design and computer design comes under the computer architecture, whereas the some part of the computer design, logic design, circuit design, and computer component comes under the computer organization, and which is the low level. So, computer organization generally deals with the structural relationship that are not visible to the programmer. For example, we can take that the clock frequency and the size of the physical memory. These things are not visible to the programmer. But if we talk about the data types, like how many bits the integer will take in the computer memory, computer architecture deals with the functional behavior of a computer system. So we can say that architecture describes what the computer does and organization describes how it does. So I think now the difference will be clear to you that what is the difference between computer architecture and organization. Next, you can find out these notes on the website www.nargishgupta.com. There we have provided all the notes topic wise and also the questions of the competitive exam and university exams. So you can refer to the website for all the study material you need. Next here, we have layer of abstraction. Before we start learning the subject, we must first know that what are the stages from which our uh, task, or we can say our program go through. So first, we have a problem. For that problem, we need a solution ultimately. So before this, uh, like from the problem till getting the solution, there are some intermediate stages also. Let's discuss them. So for that problem, specifically for the solution of that problem, we design first the algorithm. Then we convert that algorithm by using any programming language into a program. Then that programs get converted into the instruction set architecture, through which our computer system understands that what we are trying to do. Like, instruction set architecture will be in the binary form, will be in the form of signals, so that computer can understand that what it is supposed to do. Then comes the micro architecture. It is a detailed organization of a processor implementation, basically, like how our processor is implemented. It generally deals with the control unit, arithmetic and logic unit and all. And then comes the logic circuit. Logic circuits combine basic operation to realize micro architecture. Whatever we have implemented in the micro architecture, we execute those things by using the logic circuits. And then there comes the devices, like the peripheral devices such as input and output devices. So let us now discuss the basic component of the computer system. So the first one is central processing unit, which is also known as the brain of the computer system. Next one is main memory and then input output devices. We will discuss them one by one. So central processing unit, that is CPU, basically consists of control unit, arithmetic and logic unit, and some registers. So the control unit controls the overall behavior of the computer system. It also uh, controls the flow of data between memory and arithmetic and logic unit. Let's suppose that arithmetic and logic unit is going to execute any task. It will need data to execute that task. So control unit will be providing it from fetching the data from memory to the arithmetic and logic unit. And when once the arithmetic and logic unit is done with its calculation, then it again stores the result into the memory using the control unit. Next one is arithmetic and logic unit. So we already know that the arithmetic and logic unit is responsible for carrying out all the arithmetic operations. Next is input output devices. So they are the peripheral devices which are connected to the computer systems. Input devices we use to give the input or the instruction to the computer system, and output devices shows us the end result of the task which we were performing. Next here is the memory unit. So memory unit stores the data and instruction. It also stores the intermediate results and also stores the final results. So next one we have is the main memory unit. So main memory is used to store the or the information temporarily. That is, whatever the CPU will be needing to perform the task or the processes which are running, that will reside inside the main memory. Then we have secondary memory. It stores the data and information permanently. So whenever the CPU needs any information which is stored in the secondary memory, so first that information gets transferred into the main memory, then it goes to the CPU. Then we have some registers here. The first one is the accumulator, which is directly connected to the arithmetic and logic unit, which stores the results of calculation made by ALU. Next, we have the program counter. Program counter keeps the track of the address of the next instruction, which is to be ex- executed. So let's suppose I have three instructions here: I1, I2, I3, I4. So right now I1 is getting executed and its address is 1000. The address of I2 instruction is 1002. It is of 1004, and the address of this instruction is 1005 in the memory. So as of now, I1 is getting executed. Then program counter will be pointing to the next instruction which is supposed to be executed. When I2 will be getting executed, it program counter will point to the I3. That is the next instruction after the I3. Then we have memory address register. So it stores the memory location of instructions that need to be fetched from memory or which are stored from the memory. So whenever we need any instruction or any data, we need to send the address of that particular data or the address also. So memory address registers keeps the addresses only. Then as the memory address register is responsible for storing the addresses, memory data register stores the data. Then we have current instruction register. It stores the most recently fetched instruction while it is waiting to be coded and executed. Next we have is instruction buffer register. the instruction that is not to be executed immediately, like whenever we need buffering while executing our instructions, we will use this instruction buffer register. So then next very important and the basic component of the computer system are buses. Buses are nothing but the cables and the wires which are connecting different components inside the computer system. So data is transmitted from one part of the computer, that is from the one you can say like from memory to control unit to arithmetic and logic unit. So like this, whenever the data or the address will be transmitted within the computer system, that will be done with the help of bus only. So basically, we have three types of buses here, that is the data bus, address bus, and control bus. Data bus is responsible for carrying the data. Address bus is responsible for carrying the addresses, and control bus carries the control signals. As I explained earlier also, that control unit works on the control signals. So whatever the control signals, let's suppose we are writing something into the memory, or we are reading something from the memory, so these are the control instructions. These are carried by the control bus. Here we can see the diagram of how these components are connected with each other. So as I have said, that CPU consists of control unit, memory data register, memory address register, arithmetic and logic unit, program counter, instruction register, accumulator, and some general purpose registers. So accumulator, memory address register, memory data register, program counter, and instruction register, these are the specific or specific purpose registers. Their tasks are already designed and defined, but still we need some extra registers. So those registers come under the category of general purpose registers. Then here we can see that we have input output bus, which is connecting the input output devices via interface. And here in this side we can see that the memory is getting connected with the CPU. And as we discussed the types of buses, so these are the three types of buses which are directly being connected to the memory. So whenever the control unit has to send any control signal, it will use control bus. When the data will be getting stored into the memory or getting fetched from the memory to the memory data register, that will be done with the help of the data bus. And here we can see that whenever the addresses we need to tell the memory that on of which address we want the data, we will tell the memory with the help of the address bus, which is connected to the memory address register. So you can see here one thing, that the address and control bus are unidirectional. That is, we can send control signal to the memory and address to the memory, but memory cannot send any control signal or any address back to the CPU. That's why they are unidirectional, while the data can be fetched from the memory or can be written into the memory. That is the reason that the data bus is the bidirectional. So this is all about the basic component of the computer system and the basic components which we will be seeing throughout the subject. So thank you for watching. And if you like these video tutorials, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.